Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Welcome to What's Niggling Me. Here with my brother before he goes to warmer weather. And use my coffee grinder as this post this. Right, you ready to look up a book that people are not supposed to read? It's by Tupper Saucy. It's called Rulers of Evil. Useful knowledge about governing bodies.
Amazon. $723.
Why does a book cost $723? Because on the back of the book it says, author F. Tupper Saucy provides this is hard to read as I zoom it in. Yet further links connecting secret societies such as the Illuminati and Freemasons to the American Revolution and subsequent events. Whether or not one accepts his assertion that the hidden hand of the Catholic Jesuits manipulate such wide conspiracies, Saucy presents enough thought-provoking facts, details, and suppositions to engage the imagination of even the most jaded conspiracy researcher. Huh.
Why does it cost that much?
I don't know. Someone needs to ask Jeff. Jeff, why do you have books on your website that cost so much money? I remember watching the fucking Amazon documentary and he just wanted people to have access to books. Jeff Bezos apparently wanted the world. Yeah, he wanted the world to have access to books because it was so limited by, like, stores are so limited. You know what I mean?
Libraries and stuff, yeah.
Because he was trying to, ship books. He was trying to, physically ship books at the beginning, but he was having to, get in contact with the publisher or something, or, stores. Like, he was just having...
Source these books.
Yeah, he was having a hard time getting these books to get to these people.
And that was just causing him an aneurysm.
And it took a long time, but guess what? Now he provides storage space on the cloud for the United States government. That's where Jeff Bezos made it. He has such a big fucking, because you can buy these Kindle versions and you can buy all these versions, right? On Amazon. The guy's got fucking the biggest cloud space fucking in the world that we know of.
But if he's got the biggest cloud space, then that means he has all our information, and that means he's sharing it with the government. Shouldn't we be protesting him?
People are worried about Elon.
Yeah, but we should be protesting Bezos, right?
Bezos just
hands off our stuff, right?
Yep. That's what's crazy to me, is that nobody's worried about their information in Jeff Bezos' hands. Jeff Bezos destroyed Seattle. Because that's where he's from. He built Amazon, all these fucking warehouses and shit like that. And when COVID happened, all those places became at-home jobs. And then when COVID, subsided or whatever, it's still fucking here, right? But whenever they stopped caring about COVID, he kept those people at home. So all those warehouses and stuff like that around, all those not warehouses, but even warehouses, but the office buildings and stuff like that, nobody works at those places anymore, really. So all the businesses around fell apart. You know what I mean? Like a Starbucks or whatever, every fucking store around, he killed the economy in the surrounding area of where Amazon was there. Because the buildings he built and stuff like that, nobody can afford to be leasing them either or anything. He built nice stuff, right? So the empty buildings are too and he doesn't care.
Sets him to occupy.
It saves him money for people not to work at home, so he's not even concerned. Nobody cares about Jeff Bezos, though. Nobody cares about Peter. It's insane to me that nobody cares about the Larry Ellison, the fucking Oracle guy, who was the original Bezos, basically. Like, fucking, he was his Oracle company, his Oracle it was before Microsoft. This software that he started, is with the government. That was his only client forever. Was the United States government. And what I don't like is, I don't know if anybody told Candace Owens, but I'm pretty sure she's sponsored by Oracle.
Really?
I'm pretty sure Candace Owens is sponsored by Oracle. All I gotta do is watch one episode, and I'm pretty sure one of them is Oracle. But nobody is supposed to read Tubber Saucy's book. I don't know why. $723 if I want to buy it. That's weird, eh?
That's fucking dumb.
And The Witness Tree. I'm not allowed to read those books. So I saw that, I sent you that picture of Melinda Gates. I couldn't believe I seen a picture of Melinda Gates, or whatever, like the fucking magazine. Melinda Gates is on People magazine. That's where I saw the Natalia Grace months ago or whatever, the same magazine. And I'm like, no way. I need to hear anything Melinda Gates has to say. And it was because she's got a book coming out, just like when the Natalia Grace thing, the show was coming out. That's why they were doing a thing about her, right? Kind of promoting it. They're promoting Melinda Gates' book. And I read through these couple pages or whatever in the magazine, and it's a waste of my time. It was good that I read it, because now I know, like, there's no point in getting her book, because she still sticks to, she even says in it, she still sticks to, it's on Bill to talk about. Which is crazy. Which is crazy to still say. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's that bad. And she's not going to out him for the kids type of deal.
Fucked.
But he cheated. Like, he 100% cheated on her. And she didn't like the Epstein thing. And she said, like, it's a small part of her book is about that. But, like, she's like, it's on Bill to talk about that. And I'm like, damn, like, you know, she knows that it's not good. Like, whatever it is. But, like, she says the infidelity, like, he cheated on her. Like, she finally, like... No, she finally, she says, she's like, I finally did it, but, like, it was because he cheated on me. But the Epstein stuff, like, that's on him to talk about. And she said
she says that?
Yeah.
The Epstein stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. It says it right in that magazine. And that's what she said years ago in the interview I watched of her 60 Minutes or whatever the fuck it was. And she said the exact same thing then. She's like, it's on Bill to talk about. Like, but she said then, like, I met him, like, one time, and I told Bill, like, I didn't like him, like, type of thing. Like, she knew he was a scumbag and knows he was a scumbag type of deal. Didn't know what type, I guess, but she didn't like, I remember her saying she did not like that Bill was hanging out with him. Didn't like it. And he still did it. And then Peter Thiel says he believed fucking Bill was holy fuck. Bill was trying to figure out how to I don't know exactly. These aren't exactly Peter Thiel's words. He's very calculated when he talks. He said something like he was trying to really swindle he was trying to do his best to manage his money because he knew the divorce was coming, type of thing. So he was getting Epstein, and everything I read is Epstein was getting, not sure, but Epstein as well was getting tons of these young girls from everywhere around the world to, like, as blackmail pieces. And fun, which is fucked, but also blackmail pieces. And but he also was like a tax invader, bro. He was getting tons of money for decades and kept getting, like, he should have been in jail for fucking tax fraud. Like, if the amount of money he touched in businesses he worked with and stuff like that, like jobs he held, this guy should have been gone to jail for tax evasion. There was no way he could have proved he ever was able to have the type of money and properties and stuff that he had. So, but he was a good money launderer, is what it seems like. It seems like his number one thing is, I'm a good money launderer. That's what I read, and then Peter Thiel made it seem like that too, which kind of confirmed it, because that's, from where I've read it from, is a totally different source than Peter Thiel. It's someone that hates Peter Thiel. So, but Peter Thiel, yeah, oh fuck, man, he's an evil person. What else did I see? Oh man, Mark Carney's book is possibly the worst audio ever.
You're not a fan of it?
Bruh. Bro, the first at least 2 hours was so bad. I had to focus hard. And I have Bluetooth noise canceling headphones on, and I'm trying to focus on it, and it is so dull. This motherfucker, for at least 2 hours, gives a fucking history lesson on money systems. For 2 fucking hours at least. Oh my god, it's so painful. Okay, I remember when everyone was like, oh, like, and what he did. Putin, when Tucker Carlson went there and talked to Putin gave him a lot of history in the interview.
Yeah, a lot.
That's exactly what Mark Carney does. And it's in his voice. He doesn't have someone reading his book. This is Mark Carney's voice. And he gives a fucking history lesson of different money systems over, like, the past almost 2,000 fucking years. It is so fucking painfully boring. It's so dull. It's so dull. Like, congratulations. You fucking went to school for a long time and learned that. But, like, that has nothing to do. I'm trying to understand what money system you want. Okay? I don't give a fuck what other money systems happened in the last thousands of years. I'm listening to this fucking shit to know, what do you want? What's your money system you want? That is a big concern of mine. And this motherfucker gives a history lesson for at least 2 hours of it. It's so painful. The 1400s, they fucking did this. In 1100, they did this. I'm like, bro, this is fucking insane. I don't care. The Magna Carta, fucking, they tried this year and this year and this year. They tried the gold standard this year and this year. And I'm like, holy fuck. He's literally talking about clipping shillings. And I'm like, this is fucking painful. Like, I can't believe I have to listen to this. And finally, probably hour 3.5 or 4, he's talking about present day. And I'm like, thank fucking God. Thank fucking God we're talking about present day. So I can fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was insane that he finally got to, but guess what? He doesn't talk about Canada a lot. He talks about the United States and the UK. This is a book from 2021. COVID, I don't know what year this came out, but actually, he was probably writing it in 2020, right? So COVID's, because he's talking about COVID sometimes. So COVID's going on, no vaccine. and he barely talks about Canada. He talks about Canada so far about maybe like the 90s of Canada, maybe the early 2000s. No current present day whatsoever. But he talks about
England.
He talks about England a ton. And I got on the phone I'm recording on, I have 30 screenshots of the 5 hours I listened to, timestamps. I have 30 timestamps probably, but I don't have any timestamps from the beginning pretty much because it was so fucking boring about fucking economic history. Oh my god, the money systems. I do not. It's so crazy how annoying that was that I had to fucking listen to that because I couldn't miss. He didn't give his opinion on any of them. That was the problem for me. I'm like, bro, I'm listening for your opinions. Where are they? Where are they? It was brutal. But finally, I got to some opinions. I didn't write many down, but I know that he hates Bitcoin, okay? I know 1000% he hates Bitcoin, and I know why. It took me a tiny bit of listening, and it makes complete sense. Because he's a green eco guy, and Bitcoin is running a ton of electricity. He doesn't, so he hates it. He fucking hates it. When I hear him talk about it, he constantly is negative about it. It's actually hilarious because it's a 2020 or 2020 he's talking about Bitcoin, and fuck is he negative. It's hilarious. But you know what he's really about is, it's real funny. He really thinks the future seems like a coin like Tether. According to Mark Carney, from what I gather so far, and he talks about the current system of money for about an hour I listened. It was at least about an hour of it, so probably a chapter or something. And he believes that he was pretty convinced that is going to be the way. But it needs to have government control. That's the issue, I can tell. It needs to have government control. And I'll put together, with all these timestamps, once I get through the whole fucking thing, I'll put together a whole audio of clips that all the clips from his entire book that I find interesting. But, wow, he's a pretty interesting person. Because he's all about this fucking net zero shit. He's just a climate fucking person. It's bad. It's bad.
It's gonna wreck everything.
It's bad. It's not good. Because he has this vision of the whole world is going to do this, and the whole world is not going to do this. It's really crazy how he just wasn't giving any opinions, constantly giving lessons. This person, Aristotle said this, and this person said this. I'm like, congratulations, man. You read a ton of books. But that's, it's crazy that you read a ton of books, and now you're writing about all these books. Bro, I'm not here for I don't think this is a textbook. It literally seemed like a fucking textbook for so long. I'm like, bro, this is crazy. Give me opinions. And finally, I'm getting some. And it seems like, he hates gold. Hates gold. And it's crazy to me because I just checked and it had climbed over $3,000. And let me see here. Gold price. This is what US? $3,038. Oh, fuck off. I'm not opening an account. I'm just trying to look at the price. Gold. Trump's tariffs made it go from 3,163 to 3,038, which is not a big deal because gold since COVID has gone from, when did COVID happen? I know when it really happened. This has got since what? May 7th, 2020. Gold is at 1,758. Gold's almost doubled since COVID. You know why? Because tons of countries are buying gold. Mark Carney doesn't think that the gold standard, having your money backed by gold, is a good idea. He doesn't think that. From what I gather. He thinks, oh, you know what he thinks? I can't wait to like play these audio type of things. He keeps saying constantly that, and it's hilarious. You know what our money's backed on, he says, is confidence. Hey? Mark Carney says our currency is backed on confidence. It's hilarious. It's actually fucking hilarious. And this is 2020, he's writing this book, and he's saying the dollar's backed by confidence. Bruh. In fucking 5 years' time, our confidence is at an all-time low from 2020. Seriously hilarious. Mark Carney's hilarious. I had to get off it though and listen to a fucking a normal podcast after that for a couple hours because I couldn't do that anymore.
It's just mind-numbing.
Oh,
dumbass shit.
I really had a hard time paying attention. Finally, we got to real present day and what the I want to know your present day and future thoughts. And this guy's giving me a history lesson. I'm like, bro, this is fucking brutal. And you know what he didn't do? I didn't hear him name one fucking Rothschild. I can tell you that. Did I put that in my notes? Because I was like, this is fucked. Oh, you know what's in my notes? Thought of this yesterday. Nothing's worse than a black nut, right?
What do you mean?
Don't you fucking hate when you get a black nut?
Oh, I thought you meant when a black person nuts.
No, you know when you get a black nut?
Yeah.
When do you get a black nut?
In a bag of peanuts?
No, when peanut butter sometimes, in chunky peanut butter. You ever get a black nut?
Oh, yeah?
And it
100%.
has a horrible taste, right? Got one yesterday, and it pissed me off.
I don't mind the taste.
This is my note. This fucking guy wants to give a history lesson on economics. It doesn't start with a Rothschild. I'm like, bro, this is crazy. And I was probably an hour into it. I'm like, come on. You're not going to name one Rothschild? Sure, buddy. He was dropping tons of names. Didn't write one fucking down. Didn't matter to me. Didn't fucking matter to me. I just know you didn't name a Rothschild.
Gotta keep them protected, no?
Mm-hmm. And I got fucking 20 hours, or 15 hours to go. It's gotta... Let's see if it's worth it.
We tough it out.
You know what? It'll be really worth it if the fucking guy gets elected. Because I'll have a good idea of what's to come, right? It's better off I do, because if he does, then I'll have an idea. Because he does not like crypto. I can see. He's just like, it's for criminals. This fucking cocksucker. He's like, it's for criminals. Black market, he even said. Like, fuck off, buddy. Well, look at it now. Banks are buying it all over the world, so you can fuck off, Mark Carney. Look at the prediction you made in 2020, Dick Tuck.
Yeah, the richest people in the world own it.
Yeah, this Dick Tuck. I know I took screenshots during that time, and I'll be playing them, and it'll be before the election. Hopefully, we can get it out to a few people. This guy, bad prediction. 2020. I'm gonna look at the date when he was writing. Like, I hopefully can figure out when he wrote that book, because the price of gold and the price of Bitcoin from when Mark Carney wrote that book to now, pretty sure makes him look pretty fucking dumb. And he was even bragging about, you know what he said? I don't know, there's like tours or something when he was working for the Bank of Canada, and there was like tours, and they would always come by and say, this is where Canada's gold is stored. And eventually one day I went out there and, I went and told the guy that was giving the tour, we sold all our gold in like, I don't know, 98 or 99 or something like that. And the tour never came back. I'm like, what the this guy's bragging. This guy's bragging that they sold all the gold, and now gold's worth so much fucking more. And countries are buying it up. The BRICS countries are buying it up. The US dollar is going to be in some rough shape, I think. That's my prediction. It's not good for me. I'm trying to hedge my bets and trying to get crypto so that, because it doesn't depreciate as much as the fucking dollar, and what I predict, get as much crypto as I can in the next years to come. Especially if Carney gets in there, it's super bad. I really think he's that.
And destroy it.
All gas emissions and stuff like that. What he's gonna do for, what he's gonna regulate and make sure that production of cars and stuff like that. He's gonna kill. Oh yeah, he's gonna make sure that people can't be driving those gas guzzling cars. That's what he's gonna call like trucks and stuff like that. He's gonna be all about green production. Green production. We're gonna be net zero, whatever the fuck that means in their stupid world. And their carbon, all their little carbon tests and all their stupid shit. Stop flying private fucking jets. Stop mowing down the Amazon. Oh, you know what? You know why he likes Tether? I put that together. Just listened to it today, and it was fucking super rough. So I'm just trying to recall a bunch of stuff now. He likes Tether. Well, he doesn't specifically mention it, but he talks about exactly what Tether is and explains it better than I tried to explain it, let me tell you. But I was kind of right with it's backed by the US dollar, Tether is, but he mentioned it can be backed by other things too. Stable coins. That's what it is. He's a proponent of stable coins, which I don't want. I told you a couple days ago, I don't want those. I have no interest in those. That's not something that's something that you get no interest on. You make there is no, you're not going to make money off that. It's just going to be, so he believes instead of fractional banking, what we do, how you I'm not talking about that because it's a shitty thing, and how our bank works. If you can't pull out, if you have $100,000 in there, you can't pull it out, right? Because that's not how the system works. That's not how the system works. It's fractional banking. It's fucking dumb, and it's not fair. It's not fair to the people, in my opinion. But he likes the stable coins as the future, I can tell. And what do you know? And what do you know? He's on the UN for climate change or whatever. He's the head person for climate change in the UN. And the Tether guy that I was telling you about, Brock Pierce, is on the UN for I don't know, something in the crypto world. So it's like not name dropping him, but he's talked to the person, like he's obviously talked to Brock Pierce, which I don't like. I don't trust that guy. If anybody watched that Den documentary, nobody would trust Brock Pierce. But he is on the UN board.
Which is fucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Melinda Gates book.
Just gonna push a bunch of bullshit constantly.
I want to figure out, why are there savants? I gotta figure it out. No, you know, like people that like are kids that could just like play a piano, fucking Mozart fucking level or whatever, no training and stuff. They can just like calculate a fuckload of numbers and stuff like that. I'm sure there's tons of research on them. It's obviously not put on the news or anything like that, but of all the things that there's research on that they fucking do, they're researching that people can
100%.
Yeah, if they're researching that people can read people's thoughts and stuff and trying to do that, trying to see what is it like, what the fuck is all that shit called? Remember I was telling you about it before? Wow.
You tell me a lot of stuff.
Remember the, like, you can, like, I could see through your eyes, projection. What's that? One sec. I'll type in astral projection program and see what I get. We'll see what that even is. I think I'm on the right path, right thing. Right path here. No, I gotta put in like what? CIA? Gateway process. I got a CIA.gov PDF. Let's click this first one. I see holograms is one of the things. I don't know what that's about. Oh man, look how fucking small that print is. What year are we at? 1983. U.S. Army Operational Group. U.S. Army Intelligence and Security Command. Fort Meade, June 9th, 1983. What the hell is this? I wonder what they were doing. Bro, what the fuck? I just scrolled down here. This part says, paradoxically, having gone to such great lengths to avoid trying to render judgments based on an occult or dogmatic frame of reference, in the end, I found it necessary to return at least briefly. This is from a fucking typewriter. To the question of the impact of the gateway experience on common belief systems. I did so because although it was essential to avoid attempting to render an assessment in the context of such systems, I felt resulting conclusions do not do any violence to the fundamental mainstream, either Eastern or Western belief systems. I don't know what these people are doing. Why is the occult in a fucking U.S. Army document?
That doesn't make any sense.
The gateway experience, brain hemisphere synchronization in perspective. trying to sync up people's brains. Something. Oh, exactly what I was looking for. This is kind of what I was looking for, I think, because, bro, the Monroe Institute, I see here. In order to describe the Monroe Institute technique for achieving altered states of consciousness, in brackets, the gateway experience, involving brain hemisphere synchronization or hemisync, the most effective way to begin is to briefly profile the basic mechanics which underlay operation of the related methods, such as hypnosis, transcendental meditation, and biofeedback. It is easiest to effectively describe what gateway is by beginning with a short description of those. I have to keep scrolling across the fucking screen. It's hard to read this. Description of those, but which are nevertheless different, in which way we can develop a frame of reference at the outset which will provide useful concepts to explain, understand gateway by comparison as we proceed. And then hypnosis starts here. I'll just read like these two lines here because I can't, like, this is a very crazy document. There's so much in this. According to the theories of a psychologist, Ronald Stone, and the biomedical engineering models of Ishak Bentov, hypnosis is basically a technique which permits acquisition of direct access to the sensory motor cortex and pleasure centers and lower cerebral portions. Man, this is 1983, and guess what? I know the Monroe Institute is still open. The government doing that type of stuff is crazy. Like, they're funding that. So you know they're finding every kid. If they're keeping an eye on kids that can
do anything like that.
Do fucking math to like 30 decimal points and shit like that. There's fucking insane people, or there's people like, you know, that have like photographic memories that can just like
Did you ever recruit it out of their own schools and stuff like that?
100%. The Monroe Institute. Non-profit organization. Makes it seem like it's for meditation. Oh, hey. His Wikipedia, I'm not even clicking on it, just says he lived 1915 to 1995. Was an American radio broadcasting executive who became known for his ideas about altered states of consciousness. So a guy on the radio waves was, could have been hypnotizing people, right?
That's fucking scary.
Or even just testing it, right? Different types of things. And yeah, it's pretty interesting, but pretty interesting. Can't even see where the Monroe Institute is. Where are you? Virginia. Pretty interesting.
Pretty fucking wild. That's what's going on.
Yeah, the subject is
still going on.
The subject is analysis and assessment of the gateway process. So like they literally believe, like, obviously, you know what I mean? Like there's money going into this non-profit to be open and not like for 50 fucking years. That's a lot of money has to be going into that to just stay open for 50 years. they believe that thing is about, you know what they're trying to do with that? The goal with that is to an American, because that's 1983, is an American person to get good at being able to meditate and see Russians in Russia, like into like what are they doing? You know, like getting blueprints or getting plans, that kind of thing. That's what they're. That's one of the tactics that the fucking CIA was doing, or the U.S. Army, in that document on CIA.gov. That's like I remember like that's what they were trying to do. The goal of it, just like before, when decades earlier. Well, I don't know when they started that. 50. They say 50 years on there right now. 83 is that document, and that's an analysis of it. So they were doing it beforehand, before 80s, but before, when they were doing all the MK Ultra stuff, when they were trying to basically they were just trying to create a person you could flip the switch on them, say like their Manchurian candidate, they're like living a normal life and all of a sudden get activated, go do a mission.
I've seen stuff like shows like that.
That's what they were trying to do. They were trying to be able to brainwash people. They were trying to, I remember the beginning of it, they were trying to wipe minds. And they did a lot of that here in Canada. They were trying to wipe people's minds and start them brand new. If you could wipe a person's mind and start them brand new. And then that reminded me, that was, I think, after I learned that in the nasty prison camps that they were, in the 40s, they were, trying to start them from brand new, basically, when they would like try to make them back to nonverbal people. They would torture them so much that they become like a newborn. They would become mute, like they'd be scared to talk. That's what they were trying to do, that they were just trying to like demoralize people to that. Remember I was telling you about what they were doing, like making them like lick each other's buttholes and stuff like that, and eat each other's shit and stuff like that, and eat out of the same bowl that you had to piss and shit in. That's the kind of demoralizing shit they were doing to people back then. But then it just kind of, you get some reminders along the way of, especially the torture programs, just like constantly, it's like, who invented this? Because everyone keeps doing the same type of tortures. The amount, bro, there was one torture, I forget who did it, but when one guy used to impale people, maybe I did tell you, and they impaled them through their ass. Did I ever tell you that?
I can't remember.
I forget who used to do it, because lots of people impaled people. That's what's crazy. Over all the thousands of years. I've like looked at a good 2,000 years of different civilizations, and lots of people along the way love to put people on spikes. They like to put people on big sticks, and for show, like, and fear, to like instill fear to that people, you know, you would do that on stakes outside of your village or kingdom or whatever, so that anybody coming to try like and fight you, they're like, what the fuck, like, and because these people are out there on the stakes still moaning and stuff like that or whatever, they leave just the heads on stakes and stuff. But I remember somebody, he'd impale them through their ass.
God.
He'd put them right on the stake, on their butt, through their butt. That's how they died. He impaled them by just putting them on a big stick right up the ass. Pretty crazy. So that's why I keep trying to tell you over the past, I don't know how long, that we live in the best time in history, and we are super lucky, because telling you that there's been some crazy times. There's been a lot of them, and it ain't good. What's his name? Starved more people. Stalin starved more people than Hitler even killed. Stalin starved more of his own people, than Hitler killed total in the entire fucking war. That fucking guy was crazy.
But we don't care about Russia.
That guy starved so many people. They were eating each other. Craziness. Remember when Yomi Park fucking talked about her thing? That's what it reminded me of, is that, but on a way bigger scale. Way bigger scale. In Ukraine, like majority of what like turned out to be Ukraine eventually, that area is where Stalin starved all those fuckers. He starved all of them to nothing. There was no birds left, there was no grass left, there was no worms left. I remember like it was crazy hearing like how insane it sounded. They kept coming, like, you know, remember Yomi Park, she said like the soldiers show up and they say like give us what you got, like. Mm-hmm. So and if you tried to hide anything, you know what I mean, you're probably dead. And if you were living, then they're like, you must be hiding stuff, like, you know what I mean. You should be dead. That when they would come by at different time, like eventually, you should be dead. So like obviously you've been hiding something, but yeah, like no grass. They were eating grass. People were eating grass because there was no birds in the sky like anymore. There was no like animals. There was nothing. Nothing, because the taxes was 100% when the soldiers came, because like in history, different times, you pay a tax to the ruler or whatever when they come by, whatever it's fucking of your harvest or whatever. During that time, Stalin took 100% of these people's fucking things, and so they all just ate each other. Or I remember reading the good ones died first because they didn't eat each other or they didn't prostitute themselves out. Crazy times in history. 100 years ago. Not even 100 years ago, probably. No, that was probably like 1930, 1933, in there, that area.
Close to.
Pretty insane. And now Mark Carney wants everyone to go green. Everyone go green. He's real big on confidence. Hey, Mark Carney's big on the people gotta have confidence. Fuck, he didn't see this coming 5 years later. There's no confidence in any system.
Zero.
Not the economy, not the government, not the news, none of it. Super distrust.
Everything but confidence.
Everything that comes out, it could be a lie that they're trying to sell us. Everything that comes out could be a lie they're trying to sell us. More people are aware than ever. I'll be back this week with more updates on Mark Carney's 2021 book. It is extremely painful to fucking listen to.
You're gonna enjoy every minute of it, eh?
Oh yeah. Deuces.